Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's journal, I would like to share my thoughts on why self is an illusion. The suggestion that the self is an illusion is among the hardest concept to accept. The experience of the self is so familiar. I certainly have one, and I am sure that others do as well. Yet, the science says that the sense of self is an illusion, is a product of our mind activity. Our eyes and ears don't tell the truth. There isn't a little person inside our head looking out through the eyes into the world out there. The world that is actually we seen, felt, tasted, smelled, heard, and known is a function of the mind. In my view, the concept of self is a collection of sensation, perception, and thoughts all lumped together. Although it appears as a single unified entity, but it's not. The self doesn't exist independent of the mind, and this illusion only takes place in the mind, like we see or we experience water appearance in mirage. It's a mind created reality, and they are not out there in nature. That is not to say that the illusion is pointless. Rather, they have useful benefits in the way we think and functions. But that doesn't mean it has a separate existence as we perceive. See your deep sleep experience. While you are in a deep sleep, do you remember having self or the body experience? Go back and try to remember your deep sleep experience. Do you remember having a, say for example, like I am Mr. Smith or I am Mr. Ram sleeping? No. All you know about your deep sleep experience, knowing of being. When we wake up following day, then only our self-identity come from our memory or mind. So we wake to become who we are. Go back and question your deep sleep experience and see. While you're in a deep sleep, all you know is just knowing of being. It's just the following day when your mind calm, mind go back and replace that knowing of being with whatever self-identity you have for yourself. the male or female, or Mr. Smith or wrong. Question your deep sleep experience and see. I can give you another example. In deep meditation, you might find yourself in a state of emptiness with no thoughts, no perception, and no self. I have experienced this state myself, a state in which you exist as an awareness without any content or any identification. We experience a fundamental reality through our senses. All we know about fundamental reality is what our senses tell us. The fundamental reality is unknowable. The senses evolved to enable us to survive and succeed in the world, not to represent the actual fundamental reality. When we see something, the observer and the observed are one. That's it. The color seen are not separate from the seeing them, nor the sounds heard separate from the hearing. This experience does not exist independent of the mind. The experience and the person who experiencing all are in one experience. The reason we find difficult in understanding this because it's hard to pin down unless if you really take time to question your experience and see it for yourself. Ultimately, this is my own subjective experience. I shouldn't make any universal truth for it. However, the only way for you to find the truth is to try it out yourself and see if your own experience accordance with mine.